facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
It was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
15 for the Niners there and a first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. In last week's game for Kittle, there are the numbers. 3 catches, 58 yards, and a score. Garoppolo.
When you turn in good, consistent performances each and every week, you will rank in the top 10 in the league in receiving yards, and he's number 7 currently, hoping to move up as time goes on.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And it's caught. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
7th play coming now on this opening drive. This is third and goal. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. Okay, so you just took the big loss. Now what are you doing on 4th down?
Well, we have a change of plans now is what we have, because I think they're looking at the play sheet, trying to dial something up to go for it on 4th down. But after that loss, that goes right out the window. Now you have to kick the field goal and hope to come back down the next time and score.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
So here are the Lions now as they get set for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford, he completes it to Jones. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Johnson, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marcus Peters came screaming in on the corner blitz. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And look at this, for the second straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 3rd and long, it's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now a good running play here to start the drive. That'll net them 14 yards as they pick up the first. 1st down San Francisco, the pickup 14 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw, Stafford. Caught by Jones. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. For Johnson, the numbers for his performance from last week, 20 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
On second and very short, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. These two teams all tied after one. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. Out of the gun, Stafford is complete to Jones. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stafford now to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because he just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To throw is Garoppolo. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
Garoppolo on the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. To throw, it's Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting the sack, the 227-pound linebacker, Quan Alexander. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Running from the gun, Johnson. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10. Throwing on third down, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Jones has it. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
I got you.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Good one, able to haul it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
He's got the first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
21.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. George Kittle with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Gold with the extra point, and we are even at 10 apiece.
The big fella was the recipient there for that touchdown pass, and it seems like more and more the tight end is the guy you have to worry about most in the passing game.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. All tied up at 10, 2 minutes left in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. And this ball's tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jared Davis came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Garoppolo now. Over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo now. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Romeo Okwara. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Had his hand. Now Garoppolo lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Check, block 54, block 54. Here we go, G, get off the field.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Stafford. That's going to be caught. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Again, it's Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are able to regain the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive, 4 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separate.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. D Ford, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Matt Breida in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. We're pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. So here are the Lions to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Now Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Johnson. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this... The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And now look at him go. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, 70 37 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well. Go to something
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Here comes Pettis on the return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead. He could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but he got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes
looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. On 2nd and 9. Stafford underneath for Johnson. Give him 9 on the play, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. On 2nd and 9. Stafford. He completes it to Jones. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. 3rd and 2, Stafford. This is Johnson, he's got it. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Quick slant there gets him the 1st down, 6 yards on the play. Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Complete to Jones. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on third and long. Back to throw, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one is right down the middle. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal for the offense. 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Here we go.
They'll toss it to Breida. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And that will be incomplete. So the field goal unit is coming on here, and boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. And they say officially it's a 68-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Stafford now to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Remember the one-dimensional tight ends who just put their hand in the ground and block people? Well, if you're that guy now, you're probably a fullback in an I formation offense. These tight ends nowadays can do everything. Block, run, and catch. Beautiful connection for a touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Looking to throw again on second down. Garoppolo. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 6 of his throws on this drive. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That's complete to his speedy wideout Goodwin. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Play action, Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 23. Garoppolo in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's working on a string of 8 straight completions. Garoppolo. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
That'll be complete to Breida. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Stafford on 3rd down. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Set to take over again here on offense, Jimmy G and the 49ers. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella.